I'm hoping May is good to all. Greetings to everyone and to our dear listeners. I am Mary Margaret Labasano, your host for today's episode, a podcast titled Breaking the Silence, Conversations on Healing and Hope After Child Abuse, brought especially to you by Unyoa Films Production. Here with me today is one of our stunning Hume students from the Lewis section. Let us all welcome Gia Hamil.
Hello everyone, again I am Gia Hamil and I am your co-host for today's episode. Today, we will discuss disciplinary formed abuse, its effects, and how it damages its victims.
But before we dive into that, let us introduce our guests.
We have here Miss Estela Marie Capate, a fantastic kicker, futsal player from 11 Lewis.
Hi everyone.
Watches 11 Lewis's Pugly Genshin player, Kathleen May Auza, play her part for this episode. Say hi, Kath.
Take a peek at our lovely Chinita princess, singer-songwriter, student of 11 Lewis, Eliza Simone de la Cruz.
Hi everyone.
All eyes on deck is our confident, well-spoken, awful woman, also an 11 Lewis student, Miss Jessa Antoinette Saavedra.
Hello guys.
Hi to our lovely guest, welcome to the show. We're honored to have you here, and we hope you're all feeling good today. To kickstart our conversation today, we should first talk about the title of our podcast, Breaking the Silence, Conversations on Healing and Hope After Child Abuse.
Well, overall, breaking the silence is for the survivors of child abuse, which is the main focus of our discussion today. This is to raise understanding and offer a message of hope and healing to those who have suffered from abuse.
Absolutely, Marge. We believe that by bringing this topic out of the shadows and shedding light on it, we can make a real difference. Today, we have some incredible guests with us who will share their insights and experiences.
Our first speaker is Eliza, who will provide us with a global perspective on child abuse, particularly here in the Philippines and Mindanao. Welcome, Eliza.
It's a pleasure to be here, Marge. So I've actually prepared what I'm going to say. So, in the Philippines, there are many children who are easy targets of abuse, particularly those who do not have shelter, making them vulnerable to child trafficking and exploitation. While in Mindanao, children face various forms of abuse, including harm in armed conflict and domestic violence. It is worth noting that some forms of abuse against children happen in the pretense of discipline, which can escalate to physical, mental, and emotional abuse. The line between discipline and abuse can be blurred, and it is important for parents and caregivers to understand the difference and practice positive discipline techniques.
Do you know any plan of action that there is in our community today?
Yes, actually, the government has taken action to protect children through programs and national policies, and non-governmental organizations like Bantay Bata 163 and UNICEF Philippines have also played a role. In cases where abuse does occur, organizations like Child Alert Mindanao and DSWD intervene and provide support for the affected children. The local community can also play a role in preventing abuse by promoting positive parenting and raising awareness about the resources available for children who are victims of abuse.
Thank you for that thorough discussion, Eliza. Truly, abuse at home is indeed very rampant and is something that a lot of people turn a blind eye on.
Truly. To put this into perspective, let us ask our guest, Eliza, how were you disciplined as a kid?
Well, my parents were never really that super strict with me. They only disciplined me when necessary. Like, for example, when I go out and I forget to ask permission, or if I go out and I return home when it is already very late.
It's a good thing that even we're stubborn, even as kids though, it does not trigger our parents to hurt us in different ways.
Truly.
Following on, here is Jessa, and she will be giving us a brief explanation about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Welcome. Welcome, Jessa.
Welcome, hello. Okay, so United Nations Sustainable Development Goals generally aims for a call of action from the United Nations members This is where they aim to have a community that is prosperous and peaceful. More specifically, SDG 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions, aims to call end to all forms of violence and abuse against children through either forms of abuse,
Trafficking.
harassment, trafficking, and exploitation. Also could be through mental or physical abuse.
Well, that's nice. How were you able to come across with this kind of action?
I learned through the 17 SDGs through school. They introduced this to us, and I was curious and interested about it because I learned that their programs, goals, and aims aligns with mine and my passion for helping people, especially abused people.
Oh, really? How come you are so passionate about these topics?
My passion for children's welfare was deeply rooted from the realization that children, especially powerless and ignorant children, could be in a way that they are harmed through ignorant and harmful decisions from other people. I think that out of all the harms that comes their way, abuse was something that we could put a stop to, even without a call of action. I mean, hello, why is maltreatment still happening to children, especially
Right.
from their parents?
Yeah, it's about morals. What do you think is the root cause of this abuse towards children?
There are too many things to mention, but I think one of them, especially, is the lack of conscience, especially of repeated, repetitive crimes.
The records.
Yeah, it gets me so sad to think that children, especially the powerless ones, it has, this happens to them on a daily basis without help that is given to them. And I think, that making a wrong decision is something that we could put a stop to on our own because we have the conscience to do so, and we have our conscience to know that we should stop abusing other people, especially harming other people, because knowing that we can harm other people in the decision that we can make, we know that we can stop doing it. And I think that this is already common sense, so this is not even something that we should brag or be amazed about.
That is so true. I myself just hope that more people will start to realize how we need to advocate more about welfare of children and protect them from harm.
We should be more open with regards to talking about these issues, these types of issues, like this, so we could sympathize with the victims of abuse and strengthen them so they could be free from the cuffs of trauma being a victim of abuse that has been given to them.
Yes, truly. If ever that you're in a position that you are abused by the people around you, seek help and don't be afraid to ask for help, because know that there is someone that cares for you and wishes for your well-being.
Speaking of morals and sympathizing with the victims of abuse, we have here today Kath and Estella to share their perspectives on how necessary it is to seek for help. Welcome, Kath and Estella.
Thank you, Marge. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, Marge. Thank you.
Kath, Estella, we would love to hear your thoughts on the importance of seeking help and taking care of oneself. Your stories and experiences can provide validation to our dear listeners.
And encouragement too.
Yeah, who may be going through similar struggles.
Yes, upon hearing all the stories and morals, a part that should be added to it is seeking help.
Yes, you're right. Seeking help is a must, especially if you're struggling from it. But despite this known fact, some still struggle to seek help. One of the factors that may hinder them from seeking help would be that they're afraid or that they're ashamed that their experiences would be invalidated.
Yes, I agree with you, Kat. Some may tend to blame themselves for what has happened to them. That's why they refrain from seeking help. And also, there's this toxic trait of Filipinos that they tend to stigmatize the victims, that it's not that serious and that they are just being dramatic.
Well, in my opinion, seeking help does not mean that you're not strong enough to face your struggles. It means that you're brave enough and that you're strong enough to want to overcome those situations.
Yes, because as an individual suffering, you need to let it go or else it will forever haunt you. A part of it is that your mental health will be affected, that it might lead you to experience anxiety and depression.
Yes, I read from an article from Child Welfare Information Gateway that the child may adapt the situation and could possibly turn into a violent person growing up.
Yes, you're really right, Kath. A lot of people tend to be violent because they experience violence themselves in the past or in the present. They could also mirror the violence that is projected to them, to their future children, and it could turn into a generational trauma. And we don't want that.
Yes, and going back to the main topic of our discussion, seeking help is a must. But encouraging someone to seek help is a delicate and challenging process.
Yes, indeed, it is a delicate and challenging process. One must be a good and understanding listener. But as a sign of respect, we shall not force them to open up directly. Just let them know that seeking help is normal and healthy steps towards healing from trauma.
Indeed, healing means having the courage to go through the process and progress. Don't you agree, Gia?
That makes a perfect sense. Let's move on to the final segment of this episode.
So here ends our discussion on raising awareness for better hope and healing for the victims of child abuse. We want to express our heartfelt gratitude to each of our guests, Eliza, Jessa, Kath, and Estella, for joining us today and sharing their valuable insights and personal experiences. Your voices matter, and your contributions are making a difference in raising awareness and promoting healing.
Absolutely, Marge. This conversation has highlighted the importance of breaking the silence, seeking help, and understanding the role of Christian morality, particularly about conscience and the UN SDG in combating child abuse. We hope that our listeners have gained new perspectives and found hope and inspiration through our discussion.
If you are a victim of child abuse, or you might know a child who is in need of care and might be a possible victim of child abuse and would like to ask for help and assistance, you may call the Bantay Bata hotline 163 or 02-3415-6625. You may also visit their website at the foundation abscbn.com, Bantay Bata, for additional contact numbers and information.
To report and save witness assault and abuse against children, you may call the Philippine National Police, Women and Children Protection Center, 0945-863-2235 or 02-242-06460 for Luzon area, 032-410-8483 for Visayas, 0928-604-6425 or 0917-180-6037 for Mindanao. Visit their website for more details.
That's all we have for today. Remember, healing is possible, and together we can create a world where every child is safe and protected. Thank you all for tuning into Breaking the Silence, conversations on healing and hope after child abuse. This is your host, Mary Margaret Labasano, signing out. Until next time, take care and be kind to one another.
Bye!